Very good morning. Today we are going to do the practical on hardness test. Hardness means it's a material's quality to withstand localized deformation. Hardness test means it's a mechanical test for material properties. The purpose of our practical is to determine the suitability of a material for a given application. This test is very most popular because they are simple and inexpensive. That means in here we no need to take any special specimen to be prepared before the practicals, and the test is non-destructive. Only a small indentation is the only deformation in here. We can classify the hardness testing into two categories: micro hardness and macro hardness. Macro hardness means we are going to test the material with an applied loads of on the indenter of for more than 1 kilogram, and for the micro hardness test we are going to apply 1 kilogram and below material. And for the micro hardness test we are going to test objects such as tools and dies, and the example for macro hardness tests are Brinell, Rockwell and Vickers testing, and for the macro hardness test is Vickers diamond pyramid test. While considering about the quantitative hardness test technique, in here we are going to use a small indenter is forced into the surface of material to be tested under control condition of loads and rate of application. We can measure the resulting indentation size and the depth, and we can find the hardness number. If the material, you can see in here, if the material is soft, the indentation will be larger and deeper, and the hardness index number will be lower. Vice versa for the if the material is harder, and we can measure the hardness in here. They are not the absolute value, they are only we can get the relative value for that. And the factors which are influencing the hardness is microstructure, grain size and strain hardening. Now let's discuss about the Brinell hardness test. In Brinell hardness test, we are going to intend the test material with a 10 mm diameter hardened steel or carbide ball subjected to a load of 3000 kg. If the material is soft, we can reduce the force load to be 1500 kg or 500 kg to avoid any extensive indentation. In case we are going to use iron and steel, we have to apply the full load for 10 to 15 seconds, and if we are using the other metals, we can apply the full load for about 30 seconds. And in here the diameter of indentation is measured with a low powered microscope. Now we can see there is a picture for the Brinell indentation, and after the impression we can see in here we can measure the diameter of the ball as capital D, and the D1 and D2 are the diameters of the ball in two direction we have to take, and by taking the average of the two diameter we can find the simple D for the average impression diameter of indentation, and we can apply in the equation to find the Brinell hardness number. In there, P is the test load we have to apply in kg, and D is the diameter of the ball, and the simple D is the average impression diameter of indentation. In both diameter should be in millimeters. In here we can see that the Brinell hardness number is displayed as 75 HP 10/500/30. That means in here that 75 HP means that is the Brinell hardness of 75 was obtained, and the 10 means we are going to use a 10 mm diameter hardened steel, and 500 means we are going to apply the load with a 500 kg, and 30 means for a period of 30 seconds. That's the if we are telling totally means Brinell hardness of 75 was obtained using a 10 mm diameter hardened steel with a 500 kg load applied for a period of 30 seconds. Now let's discuss about the Rockwell hardness test. In here, the intending the test material with a diamond cone indenter, and the indenter is forced into the test material under a preliminary minor load. When the equilibrium is reached, the depth of the penetration of the indenter is set to its latest position. and after that the preliminary minor load is still applied, and we are going to apply the additional major load in there, which will increase in the penetration, and again the equilibrium is reached. We are going to remove the additional major load, but still the preliminary minor load will be applied in there. Removal of the major load allows a partial recovery, so the penetration depth of the penetration will be reduced. In here, the application and removal of the additional major load will cause a permanent increase in depth of penetration. By using that, we can calculate the Rockwell hardness number. For the Rockwell hardness test, we have to consider some factors, that the indenter and anvil should be clean and well positioned, and the test sample should be clean. Surface should be flat and perpendicular to the indenter, and loading speed should be standardized, and so on. In the machine is normally supplied with the diamond cone indenter and the diameter ball indenter. We can see a toggle switch on the front panel. According to the indenter we are using, we have to select the toggle switch. If it's diameter ball indenter, mean we have to choose up switch, and if it is a diamond cone indenter, mean we have to put the down switch. That's for the diamond. And motion of the indenter is displayed by a bar graph, and the correct preload is indicated when the horizontal bar touches, as shown in here. When the hand wheel over travel, that's mean if we are rotating the hand wheel more than the required amount, we can see a error message will flash on the screen, and audible alert will be we can hear to indicate no test has done. If it's happened, we have to lower the lead screw and reposition the test piece. Also, we have to start the test sequence again. In there, we can see 3 test loads available: 60, 100 and 150 kgf, kilogram force. By using the hand lever, we can select any of the 3 test loads according to our need. Now let's discuss about the Vickers hardness test. In here, we are going to indent the test material with a diamond indenter, and the full load is normally applied for 10 to 15 seconds. The advantages of Vickers hardness test is, in here it will give extremely accurate readings, and only one type of indenter we are going to use for all types of metals and surface treatments. In here we can see this is the picture after the removal of the loads. After the removal of the loads, we can measure the two diagonals of the indentation left in the surface by using the microscope, and we can get the average. In here, the F means the load, and it should be in the kgf form, that's mean kilogram force. And D, by using the D1 and D2, those are the diagonals. We have to find the arithmetic mean of the two diagonals to find the Vickers hardness. Now we got the value for the F and D, so now we can apply in this equation and we can get the Vickers hardness. In here, the Vickers hardness should be reported like as shown in here, like 800 HV/10. That means Vickers hardness of 800 was obtained using a 10 kgf force. Okay, now let's start the practical for the Vickers hardness test and for the Rockwell hardness test. This is the Rockwell hardness test. In here, we can see the different parts in this machine. So if we look at the above, there is a 4-digit LED display which is used to display the measured hardness result and to monitor the progress of the test. And below we can see a toggle switch on the front panel. According to the indenter being used, we have to match the toggle switch. Here two kinds of indenter we are using. One is the diameter ball indenter. For that we had to select like pi mark in there, we had to choose that switch. And the other one is the diamond cone indenter. For that we had to select the below one. Now the diamond cone indenter is there, so we choose the toggle switch according to that. Then in here the indenter is placed in the socket, 4mm socket screw, and it should be tightened. In below there is a table in where we have to place the workpiece. This is our workpiece. So now we are going to place the workpiece on the table. Just fix in the place where we have to make the intention. Now we have to make this specimen to be contacted with the indenter by turning the hand wheel in clockwise direction. When the point is reached, we can see it's loading and we can hear a bleep sound. At that point we had to stop rotating, because that is the point after that we have to rotate it, if else it will make an error. Then the rest of the loading cycle is automatic and we can get the hardness number which is displayed on the LED display. Likewise, according to our workpiece, we can change the test load and get the reading. That's all for this practical. This is the Vickers hardness tester. In here we have to know the basic parts in this tester. The first one is the test anvil, where we have to place the specimen, and in the above we can see the two objectives with different magnification and an indenter, and in the above we can see the eyepiece and the measuring drum wheel and the position drum wheel on the left hand side. First we had to switch on the machine. In there we can see it will be in the unloading position. Then there are three default value for the forces. By pressing the F minus we can reduce the force, and by pressing the F plus we can increase the force. So now we are going to take the default value of the force as 98.07 Newton. Now we are going to place our workpiece on the table. By using the hand wheel, we can adjust the height of the support table and rotate the microscope lens in its working position, and we have to adjust until the test piece surface is displayed on focus. Now we can see we are going to start the practical by pressing the start button. There we can see the diamond pyramid bends down and carefully touches the test piece surface, and the test force is slowly increased to its specified value, and it will hold for a constant for a certain time. The indenter lift again and pen backs. And the microscope lens resumes to its former position. After that, we can see the magnified indentation through the eyepiece. By using the control knob, we can place its four measuring lines at the corners of the indentation, and we can measure the length of the two diagonals by using that measurements. That's all. Okay, for this for this practical, you have to write the lab report as usual. and including the theory part and procedure and so on. And for the calculation for the Vickers hardness test, you had to refer to the equation in the video, and in there you had to assume the value for d1 as 2.22 and d2 as 2.36. Force and all that you can find it in that video while doing the procedure. um, and here you can see some discussion question. You have to answer for that question, and you have to do the lab reports as usual, and you have to submit it. Thank you.